Hey folks, hit that subscribe button right now and drop a comment below. Tell me what you think about our allies in Serbia cooking up game-changing weapons like this. Does it make you pumped for global defense tech, or it got you wondering about the bigger picture in world conflicts? Your thoughts keep the conversation going and help make this content even better. All right, buckle up because we're diving into a wild story straight out of the Balkans. It's got everything: engineering genius, economic comebacks, and a beast of a rifle that's more like a portable cannon. Imagine a small nation squeezed between superpowers, rising from the ashes of old wars to build something that could rewrite battlefield rules. This isn't just about guns. It's about resilience, smart business, and how a 20mm monster called the Serac 99 is shaking things up. As an American viewer, you might think of our own heavy hitters like the Barrett 50 cal, but trust me, this Serbian creation has its own twist that could impact everything from NATO strategies to arms deals with our partners. Let's unpack this epic tale, layer by layer, with some deep thoughts, real-world economics, and why it matters right here in the States. Picture this: the rolling hills of Serbia, a country about the size of South Carolina with just 7 million people, still echoing with memories of the 1990s breakup of Yugoslavia. Back then, NATO bombs rained down in 1999, leaving scars and a determination to never be caught off guard again. Fast forward to 2021, and out comes the Serac 99, a 20mm anti-material sniper rifle so potent it blurs the line between rifle and artillery. Developed by Yugo Import, Serbia's state-owned defense giant, this bad boy is basically a beefed-up version of their old M55 anti-aircraft gun, turned into a ground pounder's dream. Why does this matter to us in the US? Well, Serbia is walking a tightrope between old friends like Russia and new opportunities with the West, including arms sales to our allies in Ukraine and Israel. It's a reminder of how global arms flows can tip the scales in conflicts we're deeply invested in, from Eastern Europe to the Middle East. Let's start with the basics, but I'll spice it up with some intrigue. What makes the Serac 99 stand out? Its caliber, 20 by 110mm Hispano, a round that's been around since World War II, but packs a modern punch. The muzzle velocity? A blistering 840 meters per second. That means it can slam through a 25mm steel plate like it's butter, even from 200 meters away under the right angle. Effective range? Up to 1,600 meters for precision shots, or about a mile, far enough to take out enemy radars, light armored vehicles, or fuel depots without getting close. Unloaded, it tips the scales at 30 kilograms, but at a 5-round magazine, each weighing in at 3.5 kilograms loaded. And you're looking at a setup that needs a team, sniper, spotter, and maybe a mule for the ammo. By doctrine, a shooter hauls 3 magazines, pushing the total carry weight past 65 kilograms. Compare that to our trusty M1070 Barrett, which is lighter at around 14 kilograms and fires a 12.7 by 99mm round. The Serac is heavier, sure, but it hits harder against material. That's military speak for equipment, not people. My take on this: as someone who's followed defense tech for years, this rifle screams asymmetric warfare wizard. In a world where drones and electronic warfare dominate, like we've seen in Ukraine, a tool that can quietly disable a radar or comms hub from over a mile away is gold. For American viewers, think about how this fits into our broader strategy. Serbia has exported hundreds of millions in arms to Ukraine via third parties. We're talking 800 million euros worth in 2023 and 2024 alone, including ammo that ends up in U.S. supplied systems like HIMARS. That's indirect support for our aid efforts against Russian aggression. But here's the plot twist: Serbia is also tight with Moscow, halting some exports in 2025 to avoid ruffling feathers. It's like they're playing both sides of the chessboard, and as Americans, we should watch this closely. It could mean more reliable suppliers for our allies or complications in NATO enlargement talks. Now let's zoom out to the economic side because this isn't just a gun story, it's a comeback saga. Serbia's defense industry is booming, folks. According to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, SIPRI, their arms exports hit $1.23 billion in 2021, jumping to $1.34 billion in 2023. By 2024, defense spending reached $2.2 billion, or 2.8% of GDP, the highest among non-NATO European countries. Projections show it climbing to $1.58 billion by 2028. That's not chump change for a nation recovering from sanctions and wars. Over 200 companies, public and private, crank out everything from bullets to artillery. Giants like Kruzik, Sloboda, and Zastava, famous for their AK variants, employ 10,000 people with wages 20% above the national average. This sector's 11% of industrial exports, fueling a GDP growth of 4% annually since 2020. But here's where it gets juicy for us in the States. Serbia's exports are flowing to our friends. In the first half of 2025 alone, they shipped 55.5 million euros in ammo to Israel, topping the entire 2024 figure. That's despite a halt announced in June 2025 after tensions with Iran. And for Ukraine, indirect sales through countries like the Czech Republic and others have been massive, helping stockpile for the fight against Russia. As Americans, this matters because it bolsters our strategic partners without us footing the entire bill. Yet, it's a double-edged sword. Serbia has also supplied parts to Russia in the past, like for Su-27 jets. Those sanctions have curbed that. President Aleksandar Vučić is a master balancer, chummy with Putin, but eyeing EU membership and US investments. I gotta say, from my perspective, this is inspiring. Serbia has turned adversity into advantage. Post-1999 bombing, their economy was in the tank, GDP per capita at $2,000. Now, they're exporting to 66 countries, from the UAE to China. Their partner Defense Fair in Belgrade every 2 years showcases hits like the Nora B-52 howitzer and Lazar armored vehicles. In 2025, they unveiled 19 new systems at a massive parade, flexing muscle amid regional tensions. For the U.S., this could open doors. Imagine joint ventures or tech shares, especially since Serbia is neutral but increasingly west-leaning. Risks? Sure, ethical concerns over arms fueling conflicts, like in Gaza or Yemen. But economically, it's a win. Diversification keeps them stable, with debt at just 38% of GDP. Let's break down some comparisons in a table to make it crystal clear, because visuals help, right? See? The Serac holds its own against our Barrett. Heavier, but with that cannon-like power. It's perfect for static defense, like popping drones or light armor, which we've seen in modern wars. In Ukraine, something like this could neutralize Russian artillery spots from afar, aiding our multi-billion-dollar support packages. Diving deeper into history for that storytelling vibe. The anti-material concept isn't new. Back in World War I, Germans had the Tigerer, a 13.2mm beast that shredded early British tanks but wrecked shoulders. By World War II, Soviets like Semenov rolled out PTRD and PTRS, 14.5 by 114mm, 20 kilograms, anti-tank rifles that became obsolete as armor thickened. Fast forward to today, and it's all about precision against high-value targets. Radars, helos on the ground, even boats. The Serac fits right in, classified as artillery by NATO standards since 20mm crosses that line. That's why it's a sniper cannon. Not for people, but material from French material, meaning gear. My opinion? We'd love this in US arsenals for special ops, maybe adapted with our tech like advanced optics or suppressors. Serbia's industry teaches us about bootstrapping. From ruins to exporting $1.6 billion projected in 2025. But challenges loom. EU pressure for transparency, UN embargoes on hot zones. Vucic paused exports in June 2025, redirecting to their own army. Smart move amid global scrutiny.